May 2025 begins thick with anticipation and transformation. It's essential to note that these insights are grounded in Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. This month marks profound planetary movements, some long-awaited, others sudden, that will impact the collective energy in deeply psychological, intellectual, and karmic ways. With heavyweights like Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu all changing signs within the span of a few days, the month signals the end of a chapter and the beginning of another. Simultaneously, ongoing planetary alignments involving Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the luminaries add their own nuanced flavors to this moment of energetic recalibration. Currently, Saturn is transiting through Pisces, where it has recently begun a long-term stay, bringing structure, accountability, and spiritual realism to the otherwise fluid and dreamy terrain of this water sign. In May 2025, Saturn is joined by Rahu, Venus, and Mercury, an intense conjunction that will dominate the early part of the month. This planetary cluster in Pisces combines Saturn's pressure to mature, Rahu's erratic hunger, Venus's emotional depth, and Mercury's analytical struggles, as it is debilitated in Pisces. The result is a mix of desire, confusion, karmic reckoning, and romantic illusion, especially during the first week of May. With Mercury entering Aries on May 7th, and Venus moving into Aries by the end of May, this Piscean fog begins to lift gradually. Yet, this conjunction leaves behind deep questions about your emotional boundaries, spiritual alignment, and the nature of love and communication in your life. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, wisdom, and divine guidance, is wrapping up its stay in the earthy sign of Taurus and will enter Gemini on May 14th. This shift is a major astrological event. Jupiter in Taurus has emphasized stability, financial security, and physical well-being. But as it steps into Gemini, the focus pivots dramatically towards intellectual pursuits, learning, writing, commerce, networking, and adaptability. Gemini's mercurial energy is quick, dual, and versatile, offering multiple paths forward but also risking distraction. Jupiter here urges us to embrace curiosity, think beyond rigid belief systems, and find spiritual meaning in everyday dialogues. This transit will also spark revolutions in media, education, and youth-driven initiatives. Adding to the wave of change, Rahu and Ketu change signs on May 18th, shifting the entire karmic backdrop for the next 18 months. Rahu moves from Pisces into Aquarius, its own sign, while Ketu shifts from Virgo to Leo. This is a powerful realignment. Rahu in Aquarius activates innovation, social reform, digital evolution, and collective consciousness. It's an air sign ruled by both Saturn and Rahu, meaning Rahu's ambitions become more futuristic, socially driven, and technologically inclined. Expect significant movement in artificial intelligence, space tech, and global social ideologies. On the flip side, Ketu's entry into Leo will push individuals to detach from egoistic pursuits, authority attachments, and the need for constant personal validation. The Aquarius-Leo axis raises key themes about the balance between individuality and collective good, between ego expression and selfless contribution. Meanwhile, Mars, the planet of action and aggression, is transiting through its debilitation sign Cancer. Mars in Cancer tends to act defensively, passively, and emotionally, rather than directly and decisively. This placement challenges our usual ways of asserting ourselves and can create inner conflicts, passive-aggressive behavior, and family-related frustrations. There's a potential for emotional clarity to emerge from the struggle. Mars in Cancer also aspects Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libra, subtly influencing those domains with internalized action and emotional intensity. The Sun, currently exalted in Aries, brings fiery vitality, leadership, and assertiveness in the early part of the month. This placement supports independence and confidence. On May 15th, the Sun transitions into Taurus, grounding its energy and turning the collective focus towards material security, sensual pleasures, and practical stability. With Jupiter having just left Taurus and the Sun entering it, there's a feeling of revisiting what has been built during Jupiter's transit and making final adjustments before fully moving into new intellectual terrain. Venus also starts May in its exaltation sign Pisces, enhancing creativity, compassion, romance, and spiritual longing. This position offers poetic beauty in relationships and heightened artistic inspiration. But as Venus moves into Aries at the end of the month, it becomes more fiery, bold, and self-oriented. This change in Venus energy will be especially noticeable in relationships, where passive affection gives way to a desire for passion, clarity, and momentum. Mercury, debilitated in Pisces at the beginning of the month, brings scattered thoughts, emotional overthinking, and communication glitches. This can make the early part of May feel mentally foggy or overly sentimental. However, once Mercury moves into Aries on May 7th, mental clarity returns, along with quicker decision-making, sharper dialogue, and more assertive communication. Mercury in Aries supports pioneering ideas, courageous speech, and bold strategies. Then on May 23rd, Mercury enters Taurus, grounding its energy and slowing the pace of thought. In Taurus, Mercury brings focus to practical matters, money, values, routines, and stability. Conversations may become more deliberate, ideas more tangible, and learning oriented towards skill building and real-world application. Lunar phases also carry their own significance this month. The full moon in Libra on May 12th brings themes of balance, justice, relationships, and beauty into sharp focus. Libra, ruled by Venus, emphasizes harmony and fairness, and this full moon could illuminate unresolved relationship dynamics or urge you to restore emotional equilibrium. Later, on May 26th, the new moon in Taurus opens a doorway for new beginnings around finances, health, and self-worth. Since the sun will also be in Taurus at this time, the new moon encourages planting seeds for long-term security and sensual grounding. In totality, May 2025 is a highly transformative month, loaded with astrological shifts that signal both internal awakening and external redefinition. The heavy emotional fog of Pisces begins to clear, making way for the airy, future-facing energy of Aquarius and Gemini. Karmic patterns change. Communication accelerates. Ideals are tested, egos are challenged. To accurately assess the impact of these transits, it's crucial to consider your ascendant and moon signs. The ascendant sign provides insights into the timing of life events, while the moon sign reveals how you'll emotionally respond to these changes. Additionally, consider the position of your current Mahadasha Lord in your birth chart, as it can shed light on how these transits will influence the recurring themes of your current Dasha period. These specific outcomes will depend on individual Dasha periods and how these transits interact with your natal planetary placements. If you are currently in Jupiter's Mahadasha period, its transit influence will be particularly prominent. Remember, the effects of these transits vary for each person. Let's explore how they may affect you based on your zodiac sign and the houses they transit. For Aries, May 2025 unfolds as a transformative month, brimming with opportunities for personal growth, financial focus, and recalibration in relationships. As May begins, Mars, your ruling planet, continues its transit through Cancer, which is your fourth house of home and emotional security. This placement, in Mars' sign of debilitation, could evoke feelings of emotional vulnerability or difficulty in asserting control over domestic matters. You may encounter challenges in balancing assertiveness and emotional receptivity within your family environment. However, this is an ideal time to reflect on your emotional patterns and to work toward creating a nurturing space for yourself and your loved ones. Despite these challenges, this transit provides a unique opportunity for inner transformation and healing past emotional wounds. The 12th house of your chart, governing spirituality, subconscious patterns, and endings, is highly active as the month begins. Saturn, Rahu, Mercury, and an exalted Venus are all transiting Pisces, intensifying your focus on spiritual growth, foreign connections, and inner work. Saturn's long-term presence here urges you to confront and restructure deep-seated fears or self-sabotaging tendencies. This can be a time of karmic closure, helping you release patterns, habits, or relationships that no longer serve your higher purpose. Exalted Venus lends a touch of beauty and healing to this process, offering solace through creative expression, meditation, or even a retreat to a tranquil setting. The planetary dynamics shift notably after May 7th, as Mercury enters Aries, bringing mental clarity and enhanced communication. This marks a turning point in your ability to articulate your thoughts and initiate meaningful discussions. With the Sun also in Aries until May 15th, you are brimming with vitality, confidence, and leadership energy. This period is ideal for launching personal projects, reinventing your image, or taking bold steps in areas where you wish to shine. The Sun's exaltation amplifies your natural charisma and self-expression, making you a magnet for recognition and opportunities. After mid-month, as the Sun and later Mercury transitions into Taurus, your second house, your attention shifts to financial matters, personal values, and self-worth. This is a time to consolidate your resources, reassess your priorities, and focus on material stability. Financially, the month promises significant activity and opportunities. Jupiter begins May in Taurus, your second house, supporting growth in earnings, investments, and material abundance. You may find new avenues to enhance your income or receive financial rewards for past efforts. However, it's wise to exercise prudence, as Jupiter's expansive energy can also tempt overspending. The financial focus intensifies after May 14th, when Jupiter moves into Gemini, your third house. This transit brings an emphasis on communication, learning, and networking. You may feel inspired to pursue entrepreneurial ventures, enroll in educational programs, or deepen your connections with siblings and peers. This shift also highlights short-distance travel and collaborative projects that can enhance both your personal and professional growth. The lunar nodes undergo a significant shift on May 18th, signaling a change in karmic themes for the next 18 months. Rahu moves into Aquarius, your 11th house, while Ketu transitions into Leo, your 5th house. Rahu's presence in the 11th house activates your aspirations, social networks, and long-term goals. You may find yourself drawn to influential groups or unconventional paths to achieve your dreams. This transit can also bring financial gains through multiple sources and opportunities to expand your social influence. Conversely, Ketu in the 5th house prompts introspection and detachment regarding creativity, romance, and children. You might feel a spiritual calling in your creative pursuits or experience karmic lessons in your romantic life. This nodal shift invites you to balance personal expression with collective contribution. In your career, the month presents a blend of challenges and opportunities. Mars in your 4th house suggests that personal matters may influence your professional focus. You might feel torn between domestic responsibilities and career ambitions. However, the supportive energy of the Sun and Mercury in your sign during the first half of May boosts your visibility and assertiveness. This is an excellent time to pitch new ideas, seek leadership roles, or establish your professional presence. After mid-May, with the Sun and Mercury in your 2nd house and Jupiter in your 3rd, communication becomes a key driver of success. You may find yourself negotiating deals, networking with influential individuals, or leveraging your skills for financial gain. Rahu's entry into your 11th house further amplifies opportunities for career advancement through social connections and online platforms. Venus, exalted in your 12th house, adds a dreamy and private quality to your love life. If you're in a relationship, this transit supports deep emotional bonding, healing, and possibly a romantic getaway. If you're single, you may encounter potential partners in spiritual or artistic settings, or even during travels. After May 18th, Ketu's transit into your 5th house brings a reflective tone to matters of the heart. Existing relationships may undergo tests of authenticity, urging you to address any unresolved emotional dynamics. Family dynamics remain a focal point throughout May, influenced by Mars in the 4th house and the activity in your 12th house. Emotional responsibilities at home may feel heavier than usual, particularly if you are dealing with elderly parents or unresolved domestic issues. Saturn's presence in the 12th house suggests the potential for long-distance family concerns or hospital-related matters. However, Venus and Mercury in the 12th house bring opportunities for healing and support within your family circle, especially through heartfelt communication or shared spiritual practices. After the nodal shift, family life begins to lighten, with Ketu's presence in the 5th house encouraging emotional detachment from overly demanding family dynamics. The strong 12th house influence suggests the need for rest, introspection, and emotional cleansing. Saturn's presence here may manifest as fatigue, sleep disturbances, or chronic issues requiring disciplined self-care. Venus's exaltation offers a healing balm, encouraging you to explore therapies such as meditation. After May 7th, Mercury's entry into Aries brings mental clarity and a boost to overall vitality. The Sun's transit through Aries further enhances your physical energy, particularly during the first half of the month. As the Sun moves into Taurus and Jupiter transitions into Gemini, throat and dietary health may require attention, emphasizing the importance of a balanced and nourishing routine. The full moon in Libra on May 12th illuminates your 7th house of partnerships, bringing culmination or clarity in one-on-one relationships. This lunation may highlight the dynamics of give and take in your personal or professional bonds, encouraging you to prioritize harmony and mutual understanding. Whether it's a marriage, business partnership, or client relationship, this full moon provides an opportunity to reflect on your growth through these connections. If you've been working on collaborative goals, this lunation could bring tangible results or require decisive action. As the month concludes, you stand at the threshold of profound changes. The planetary shifts and transits of May 2025 invite you to embrace transformation with courage, balance your personal desires with collective responsibilities, and cultivate a deeper understanding of your true self. For Taurus, May 2025 indicates a transformative and enriching period, underscored by significant planetary alignments that reshape various life domains. This month, your ruling planet Venus remains exalted in Pisces until May 18th, gracing your 11th house of gains, social circles, and long-term ambitions with its potent energy. This is a time of unparalleled magnetism, where your charm, diplomacy, and artistic flair attract professional allies and personal supporters alike. Networking proves fruitful, bringing financial windfalls and emotional satisfaction through meaningful collaborations. As Venus strengthens your connections, you'll likely find yourself at the center of social engagements, receiving recognition and assistance in achieving your dreams. The key is to allow this magnetic energy to flow naturally. Resting and trusting the process will yield better results than overexertion. Joining Venus and Pisces are Saturn, Rahu, and Mercury, turning your 11th house into a focal point of activity. Saturn's disciplined energy lends structure to your social ambitions, pushing you to approach relationships with maturity and discernment. While certain friendships may feel burdensome or transactional, they offer karmic lessons that strengthen your resolve. Rahu's presence amplifies your hunger for recognition and success, steering you toward unconventional or futuristic endeavors such as technology and innovation. However, this influence also requires careful navigation to avoid shortcuts or ethical lapses. Meanwhile, Mercury's debilitated state until May 7th might initially lead to miscommunications or misunderstandings within group settings. Once Mercury transitions to Aries, clarity returns, encouraging introspection and the exploration of your subconscious motivations. This is an ideal time for journaling, meditative practices, and reconciling inner conflicts. The Sun's position in Aries, 12th house, until May 15th illuminates hidden desires, spiritual aspirations, and the need for emotional rejuvenation. This period encourages retreat and reflection, perfect for engaging in healing practices such as yoga, meditation, or even a trip abroad to recharge your spirit. From mid-month onward, the Sun enters your own sign of Taurus, marking a period of personal empowerment and renewal. This solar return energizes your first house, making you the center of attention and imbuing you with confidence to take bold steps toward your goals. However, this energy may sometimes feel intense or physically draining. Maintaining a balance between ambition and self-care is important. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion, begins the month in Taurus, offering you the final stretch of its blessings in personal development, optimism, and well-being. On May 14th, Jupiter transitions into Gemini, activating your second house of wealth, speech, and family values. This shift ushers in a prosperous phase characterized by financial stability and opportunities to enhance income streams, particularly through communication-based ventures or educational pursuits. Jupiter's influence enhances your articulation and inspires you to explore teaching, public speaking, or writing as potential avenues for growth. Mars, although debilitated in Cancer and transiting your third house, brings vigor to your communication, travel, and relationships with siblings. You may feel an urge to initiate projects, take short trips, or address lingering issues with neighbors or relatives. While this placement can sometimes trigger impulsive reactions or emotional outbursts, conscious effort allows you to channel this energy constructively. Harnessing Mars' drive in areas like marketing, technical skills, or writing can yield substantial progress. Balance is essential, as the emotional undertone of Cancer can lead to unnecessary confrontations if left unchecked. On May 18th, Rahu enters your 10th house of career and public image in Aquarius, while Ketu moves into your 4th house of home and emotional security in Leo. Rahu's presence in your career sector propels you toward unconventional paths, high-visibility opportunities, and potentially fated career changes. This transit encourages boldness and innovation but also demands ethical vigilance to avoid pitfalls. Meanwhile, Ketu's influence in the 4th house might stir feelings of detachment from domestic matters or prompt a reevaluation of your relationship with home and family. You may find yourself torn between public ambition and private peace, requiring you to develop a delicate balance between these spheres. Career prospects in May 2025 are particularly promising, with Venus and Saturn fostering long-term gains and professional alliances in the 11th house. Mars' dynamic presence in the 3rd house supports assertiveness and innovation, while Rahu's entry into the 10th house on May 18th brings sudden shifts and opportunities in your professional life. This is an excellent time to explore entrepreneurial ventures, technological advancements, or roles in media and politics. However, success hinges on careful planning and adherence to ethical principles, especially under Saturn's watchful influence. On the financial front, Jupiter's move into the 2nd house indicates a period of monetary growth and stability. This is an opportune time to focus on savings, investments, and building a secure financial foundation. Communication skills emerge as your greatest asset, paving the way for lucrative opportunities in teaching, negotiation, or writing. However, the Sun's transit through your 12th house in the first half of the month, coupled with Mercury's presence there, may highlight hidden expenses or charitable investments. Exercise caution in financial dealings, particularly those involving complex contracts or emotionally charged decisions. With Ketu exiting your 5th house on May 18th, romantic matters begin to gain clarity and release past confusions. Before this date, love may feel introspective or karmic, possibly connected to unresolved past life issues. Post-transition, the focus shifts to your domestic environment and emotional roots, encouraging deeper connections. For singles, Venus' exalted position boosts your allure, making this a favorable time for new romantic encounters, particularly through social networks. In committed relationships, shared goals and mutual support become central themes, fostering growth and harmony. Family life might experience some turbulence as Ketu's entry into the 4th house stirs detachment or restlessness regarding home matters. Renovations, relocations, or ancestral connections may take focus. Meanwhile, Saturn's ongoing influence in your 11th house suggests a role as the mediator or problem solver within familial dynamics, especially concerning siblings or elder relatives. Patience and clear communication will help navigate these challenges effectively. The Sun's presence in the 12th house until mid-May, along with Mercury's initial debilitated state, indicates a need for rest and detoxification. After mid-May, as the Sun and later Mercury enters Taurus, your physical energy and confidence receive a significant boost, helping you tackle challenges with renewed vigor. The full moon in Libra on May 12th lights up your 6th house of daily routines, health, and service, marking a culmination in these areas. This lunation encourages you to assess your habits and make meaningful changes that enhance your productivity and well-being. It's a powerful moment to finalize work projects or address lingering health concerns with clarity and determination. Overall, May 2025 offers Taurus individuals a dynamic and transformative period filled with opportunities for personal growth, professional advancement, and meaningful connections. By embracing the supportive energies of Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, while mindfully navigating the challenges posed by Rahu and Ketu, you can harness this month's potential to create a balanced and fulfilling path forward. For Gemini, May 2025 is poised to be a transformative month, bringing a dynamic mix of challenges and opportunities. With planetary shifts influencing your 10th, 11th, and 12th houses, and the significant ingress of Jupiter into your sign, you are entering a phase of profound growth and renewal. The month begins with a cluster of planets in your 10th house of career and public life, namely Mercury, Saturn, Venus, and Rahu. This intense planetary activity emphasizes your professional life, placing your reputation, responsibilities, and long-term ambitions under the spotlight. Mercury's debilitated position in Pisces initially brings challenges in communication and decision-making. You might feel uncertain or misunderstood at work, especially when navigating complex dynamics or political situations. Saturn's presence demands patience and discipline, urging you to focus on building a solid foundation for future success. Venus's exaltation in Pisces adds a layer of charm and creativity, making it an opportune time to use diplomacy to navigate workplace challenges. Rahu's influence amplifies ambition, encouraging you to think outside the box and pursue unconventional paths. However, it's essential to remain grounded to avoid getting carried away by unrealistic expectations. A significant shift occurs on May 7th when Mercury moves into Aries, your 11th house of gains, networks, and aspirations. This transit marks a turning point in your month, as your mental clarity and confidence begin to improve. The 11th house's energy fosters collaboration, social outreach, and the realization of long-term dreams. Your communication skills become more assertive and impactful, making this an excellent time to network, strategize, and pursue new opportunities. The Sun, exalted in Aries until May 15th, further enhances this period by shining a spotlight on your leadership abilities and increasing your visibility in social and professional circles. Financial gains and recognition for past efforts are highly likely during this time, particularly through group endeavors or connections with influential individuals. As the Sun and later Mercury transitions into Taurus on May 15th, it activates your 12th house, drawing your focus inward. This shift brings a need for rest, introspection, and spiritual connection. The 12th house is associated with endings, hidden matters, and subconscious areas, making this a period to address unresolved fears, explore your inner world, and embrace healing practices. This energy is complemented by Jupiter's movement into Gemini on May 14th, a transit that indicates a new chapter of growth, self-belief, and personal development. With Jupiter in your 1st house, you are likely to experience a surge of optimism, charisma, and opportunities for expansion. This transit encourages you to embrace your natural curiosity, pursue personal goals, and step into a more confident and authentic version of yourself. Over the coming year, Jupiter's influence will support your journey toward realizing your potential. Mars continues its transit in Cancer, your 2nd house of finances, family, and speech. While Mars's debilitated position here may bring tension in family dynamics or impulsivity in financial decisions, it also provides the drive to address these issues head-on. This is a time to approach money matters with caution and avoid reactive communication that could strain relationships. Rahu's transit into your 9th house inspires a thirst for exploration, unconventional learning, and spiritual growth. You may feel drawn to unique philosophies, foreign cultures, or innovative mentors. This transit supports academic pursuits, publishing, and ventures involving international connections. Conversely, Ketu's presence in your third house encourages a more introspective and purposeful approach to communication. While you may withdraw from trivial conversations or short-term travel, this energy can be channeled into focused self-expression and creative endeavors. It's important to maintain open lines of communication with siblings or close relatives, as Ketu's influence can sometimes create distance. The full moon in Libra on May 12th illuminates your fifth house of creativity, romance, and self-expression. This lunation brings emotional clarity and culmination in these areas, offering an opportunity to reflect on your passions and desires. If you've been involved in a creative project, this is a time to celebrate milestones or make significant decisions. On the romantic front, you may feel inspired to open your heart, express your feelings, or deepen connections with loved ones. Venus's exaltation in Pisces throughout the early part of the month continues to bless your career and public image. This energy supports harmonious professional relationships, creative breakthroughs, and public recognition. As Venus moves closer to ending its exaltation phase, it's essential to maintain balance between your work and personal life. Embracing gratitude and finding joy in your daily interactions can help you sustain this positive momentum. The Sun and Mercury in your 11th house until mid-month highlight the potential for romantic connections through social networks or shared interests. If you're single, this is a favorable time to meet someone who aligns with your aspirations. For those in committed relationships, shared goals and future planning become important themes. As the Sun and Mercury moves into your 12th house, intimacy and emotional healing take focus. Spending quality time with your partner and addressing unresolved issues with compassion can deepen your bond. Jupiter's entry into your sign enhances your charm and attractiveness, making the latter half of the month particularly favorable for dating and romance. Ketu's exit from your 4th house alleviates some of the tension related to home and parental responsibilities. However, its transit into your 3rd house may lead to a more reserved approach to communication with siblings or close acquaintances. Practicing patience and empathy can help maintain harmony in these relationships. With Mars in your 2nd house, family discussions may become emotionally charged, requiring a thoughtful and measured approach to avoid conflicts. First half of the month may bring hidden health issues to the surface, particularly those related to stress, sleep, or the immune system. Incorporating relaxation techniques such as meditation, breath work, and journaling can help you manage these challenges effectively. As Jupiter moves into your 1st house, your vitality and resilience are likely to improve, offering a renewed sense of well-being. This is an excellent time to adopt positive lifestyle habits that support your physical and emotional health. May 2025 is a month of significant growth and transformation for Gemini individuals. The planetary shifts invite you to embrace new opportunities, address long-standing challenges, and align with your higher potential. By balancing your professional ambitions with personal introspection and nurturing your relationships, you can navigate this dynamic period with confidence and grace. For Cancer, May 2025 is a pivotal month, offering profound opportunities for growth, transformation, and self-discovery. This month's planetary transits illuminate your 1st, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th houses, setting the stage for a period of introspection, change, and preparation for the future. The month begins with a strong emphasis on your 9th house of Dharma, higher learning, and long-distance journeys. Saturn, Rahu, Venus, and Mercury form a powerful conjunction in Pisces, urging you to explore deeper spiritual truths, philosophical insights, and foreign cultures. Saturn's presence calls for discipline and commitment to your beliefs, while Rahu's influence may bring unconventional ideas or sudden shifts in perspective. Venus, exalted in Pisces, adds a harmonious touch, fostering opportunities for artistic inspiration, romantic connections, and meaningful exchanges with mentors or teachers. Mercury's debilitation here until May 7th might initially create some confusion or miscommunication, particularly in legal, travel, or academic matters. However, once Mercury moves into Aries on May 7th, your 10th house, clarity and precision return, enabling you to communicate your professional ideas effectively and with confidence. Your career and public image come into sharp focus during the first half of May. The Sun, exalted in Aries and occupying your 10th house until May 15th, provides vitality and recognition in your professional life. This period is ideal for stepping into leadership roles, showcasing your talents, and taking bold initiatives. Whether through promotions, new responsibilities, or public accolades, your efforts are likely to be acknowledged. After May 15th, the Sun shifts into Taurus, your 11th house of gains and aspirations. This powerful combination enhances your ability to manifest long-term goals, attract influential connections, and achieve financial rewards. Networking becomes a key theme, and collaborations or group activities may yield significant benefits. Jupiter's transition from Taurus to Gemini on May 14th marks a significant shift in energy. While its placement in Taurus earlier in the month bolsters your social reputation and financial growth, its move into Gemini, your 12th house, indicates a year-long period of introspection and spiritual exploration. This transit encourages you to seek solitude, delve into meditation or healing practices, and connect with your inner self. Overseas travel, charitable endeavors, or foreign romantic connections may feature prominently. Jupiter's expansive energy in the 12th house supports psychological growth and the resolution of deep-seated fears or emotional patterns, paving the way for profound transformation. Mars's presence in your first house throughout May adds a fiery dynamic to your personality. While this placement imbues you with energy and determination, Mars's debilitation in Cancer can also lead to irritability, impulsive actions, or heightened emotional sensitivity. Managing this intense energy requires conscious effort. Engage in physical exercise, grounding practices, or creative outlets to channel it constructively. Be cautious in your interactions with others, as misunderstandings or conflicts may arise if this energy is misdirected. At its best, this transit empowers you to assert yourself and make significant strides in self-improvement. The lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, undergo a critical shift on May 18th. Rahu moves into Aquarius, your 8th house, while Ketu transitions into Leo, your 2nd house. This nodal axis shift sets the stage for an 18-month period of karmic lessons and transformative experiences. Rahu in the 8th house highlights themes of psychological depth, financial shifts, and occult exploration. You may find yourself drawn to uncover hidden truths, confront fears, or delve into esoteric studies. Unexpected financial gains or challenges, such as inheritances or insurance matters, may also arise. Meanwhile, Ketu in the 2nd house encourages a reevaluation of your values, speech, and material priorities. You might feel less attached to material wealth and more inclined to adopt a minimalist or spiritual approach to life. Family relationships, particularly concerning finances or traditions, may take on a more introspective tone. The full moon on May 12th in Libra illuminates your 4th house of home, roots, and emotional security. This lunar event brings matters of the heart and home to the forefront, offering clarity or culmination in domestic affairs. You may finalize a decision related to your living situation, complete a home project, or address unresolved family dynamics. The balance between your private life and professional responsibilities becomes a focal point, urging you to prioritize emotional well-being and stability. In love and relationships, Venus's exaltation in your 9th house during the first half of the month fosters romantic connections rooted in shared values, intellectual pursuits, or spiritual exploration. Long-distance relationships or bonds with individuals from different cultural backgrounds may flourish. The energy shifts inward as Jupiter enters your 12th house. This transition emphasizes private or unconventional relationships and encourages healing from past romantic wounds. For those in committed relationships, this is a time to deepen emotional intimacy and let go of lingering resentments. Financially, May offers a mixed outlook. The focus on your 11th house in the latter half of the month supports gains through collaborations, bonuses, or the successful completion of long-term projects. However, Ketu's entry into your 2nd house might prompt a detachment from material concerns or a reevaluation of your financial goals. Jupiter's transit through the 12th house could also lead to increased expenditures on travel, health, or spiritual pursuits. It is essential to practice financial mindfulness and plan for potential hidden costs or delays. Health becomes a significant area of attention, particularly with Mars in your 1st house and Jupiter moving into the 12th. Emotional fatigue, digestive issues, or erratic sleep patterns may arise, requiring a balanced approach to daily routines. Saturn and Rahu's influence could contribute to mental strain or confusion. Prioritize self-care, nourishing foods, and restorative practices such as yoga or meditation. Venus's exaltation throughout the month underscores a sense of purpose and magnetism in your pursuits. Whether traveling for work, engaging in higher education, or embarking on a spiritual journey, you are likely to find inspiration and fulfillment. The combination of the Sun in your 11th house and Venus's energy enhances your ability to attract opportunities, build meaningful connections, and make strides toward your aspirations. The new moon on May 26th in Taurus, your 11th house, marks a moment of renewal and intention setting for your long-term goals and aspirations. This lunation invites you to focus on abundance in all its forms, including financial prosperity, creative opportunities, and personal growth. It is an excellent time to envision your future, set realistic goals, and cultivate the networks or resources needed to achieve them. Overall, May 2025 is a month of dynamic change and introspection for Cancer individuals. With significant planetary shifts and powerful lunations, you are encouraged to balance your public ambitions with private growth embrace opportunities for learning and connection, and prepare for a deeper spiritual journey. For Leo, May 2025 is poised to bring a dynamic blend of opportunities and challenges, driven by significant planetary movements that touch nearly every facet of life. Ruled by the Sun, your natural charisma and leadership will be magnified as transits activate your personal, professional, and emotional spheres. Until May 14th, Sun transits Aries, its exaltation sign in your 9th house of higher learning, spirituality, and long-distance journeys. This placement invigorates your sense of purpose and belief in your abilities, encouraging you to pursue ambitious goals with confidence. After May 14th, the Sun shifts to Taurus, with Mercury following a week later, to your 10th house of career and public standing. This transition spotlights your professional achievements and enhances your visibility in your field. It is a time to share your ideas, lead initiatives, and seek recognition for your efforts. This solar influence supports promotions, new opportunities, and even entrepreneurial ventures. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, starts the month in Taurus, 10th house, enhancing your professional landscape. This transit encourages strategic networking and alliances with influential individuals who can propel your career forward. After May 14th, Jupiter moves into Gemini, 11th house, shifting the focus to collaborations, financial gains, and fulfilling long-term aspirations. This shift brings opportunities to expand your social network and build mutually beneficial relationships. Investments and group ventures are likely to yield positive results during this phase. Your ability to harness team dynamics will play an important role in realizing your objectives. Saturn's ongoing presence in Pisces, 8th house, adds a layer of complexity to your professional and personal life. This placement often brings hidden challenges, requiring patience and meticulous planning. At work, you may face sudden shifts that demand adaptability. Financially, Saturn's influence cautions against speculative investments and urges you to consolidate resources. Focus on long-term strategies to navigate these potential disruptions effectively. Mars, transiting through your 12th house of Cancer, further emphasizes behind-the-scenes work and introspection. While this placement can create feelings of isolation or frustration, it also provides a chance to address unfinished projects and refine your approach without external distractions. Financially, May 2025 is a mixed bag for Leo individuals. Ketu's transit in Virgo, 2nd house, until May 18th highlights disruptions in savings or family finances. This period requires careful budgeting and a disciplined approach to spending. After May 18th, as Ketu moves into your ascendant, 1st house, your financial focus may shift towards more personal priorities. Simultaneously, Rahu's entry into Aquarius, 7th house, signals a phase of new partnerships that could positively impact your financial standing. Jupiter's transit into the 11th house post-May 14 is especially favorable for gains through investments and bonuses. Strengthening your financial foundations by exploring diverse income streams is advised. Relationships and partnerships take focus this month, with Rahu's shift into Aquarius, 7th house, on May 18th bringing fresh dynamics to your personal and professional bonds. For single Leo individuals, this transit might introduce intriguing connections with individuals who have unconventional or unique perspectives. Married individuals could experience shifts in relationship dynamics, emphasizing the need for open communication and mutual understanding. Rahu's influence in the 7th house often invites exploration and novelty in partnerships but requires grounding to prevent misunderstandings or impulsive decisions. Venus, exalted in Pisces' 8th house, during the early part of the month, enhances intimacy and emotional depth in relationships. This transit encourages healing and transformative connections. If your relationship is going well, consider a romantic getaway to strengthen your bond. If there have been challenges, this Venusian energy provides a soothing influence to address and resolve lingering issues. However, the conjunction of Venus with Rahu and Mercury in the 8th house may lead to moments of confusion or unexpected revelations. After May 7th, when Mercury enters Aries, 9th house, communication improves, fostering clearer and more uplifting interactions. Ketu's influence in the 2nd house until May 18th might create temporary misunderstandings or distance within the family. Use the Sun's transit in the 9th house during this time to foster spiritual connections and seek guidance from elders or mentors. After May 18th, as Ketu transitions to your 1st house, you may feel a pull towards personal growth, which could inadvertently create a sense of detachment from familial obligations. Balancing self-care with family responsibilities will be essential to maintaining harmony. Jupiter's entry into Gemini, 11th house, on May 14th marks a vibrant period for your social life. This transit encourages meaningful interactions with friends and participation in community projects that align with your aspirations. It's an excellent time to connect with like-minded individuals who share your goals and values. The full moon on May 12th in Libra, 3rd house, underscores themes of communication, courage, and short-term travel. This lunation invites you to shed outdated beliefs and embrace a more spontaneous and daring approach to life. Engaging with siblings, friends, or neighbors during this time can bring renewed understanding and connection. Health requires your attention this month as Saturn's transit in the 8th house of Pisces and Mars' placement in the 12th house of Cancer may lead to physical or emotional stress. Prioritize regular checkups and address any lingering health issues. Mars' influence can disrupt sleep patterns or amplify stress levels, making relaxation and mindfulness practices essential. Venus' exaltation in the 8th house offers healing energy. Moderation is key to avoiding overindulgence that could affect your well-being. The nodal axis shift on May 18th brings transformative energy to your life. With Rahu in Aquarius, 7th house, and Ketu in Leo, 1st house, themes of self-discovery and partnership come into focus. Rahu's placement encourages collaboration and exploration in relationships, while Ketu's influence in your ascendant fosters introspection and personal growth. This combination often brings lessons in balancing independence with teamwork, urging you to embrace change and adapt to new circumstances with an open mind. The new moon on May 26th in Taurus, 10th house, amplifies your career aspirations. This lunation inspires you to dream big while taking practical steps toward achieving your goals. Mercury's involvement in this new moon emphasizes strategic planning and effective communication. Use this energy to set intentions for the next phase of your professional journey, whether it's pursuing a promotion, launching a project, or expanding your influence in your field. Overall, May 2025 offers Leo individuals a mix of growth opportunities and challenges that test your resilience and adaptability. The month emphasizes career advancement, financial planning, and relationship dynamics, with significant transits reshaping your priorities and aspirations. By embracing change and maintaining a balanced approach, you can navigate this transformative period with grace and confidence. For Virgo, May 2025 emerges as a powerful month of transition and recalibration. With numerous planetary shifts influencing the angular houses of your chart, you're likely to experience transformation in multiple spheres: relationships, career, health, finances, and inner growth. As your ruling planet Mercury begins the month in its sign of debilitation, Pisces, placed in your 7th house of partnerships, you may start off feeling mentally foggy or misunderstood in close connections. Communication with partners, both romantic and professional, may seem clouded by illusion or emotional overwhelm. The conjunction of Mercury with exalted Venus, Saturn, and Rahu in Pisces adds weight to this theme. On one hand, there's the possibility of magnetism, beauty, and spiritual connection in relationships. On the other, there's a risk of unrealistic expectations, overcommitment, or even manipulation. This intense 7th house cluster pushes you to deeply evaluate the boundaries in your one-on-one connections. With Saturn and Rahu together, a karmic pattern could emerge, perhaps showing you where you've overextended, compromised too much, or misunderstood your partner's deeper needs. Venus being exalted helps sweeten the energy, gifting you with grace and charm in resolving conflicts, and helping to attract the right kind of people into your life. Yet, it's important to stay discerning. Under such a dreamy Piscean influence, not everyone who seems perfect is what they appear to be. Single Virgo individuals might meet someone fated or magnetic, but emotional caution is advised. For those already in a relationship, the conjunction may bring underlying issues to the surface, but with the potential for healing if approached with patience and authenticity. Mercury shifts into Aries, your 8th house, on May 7th, a significant move that shifts your mental focus towards shared resources, emotional depth, and transformation. This period activates your curiosity in hidden or esoteric subjects. Psychology, astrology, research, and metaphysics may draw your attention. It's also an excellent window for managing joint finances, taxes, or inheritance matters. With the Sun also transiting this house until May 14th, and exalted in Aries, there's an opportunity to confidently dive into these topics and assert yourself where previously you might have hesitated. The Sun-Mercury conjunction until May 13th strengthens your voice and may allow you to express sensitive truths, particularly with in-laws or in deeply personal situations. Mid-month, a major energetic shift unfolds. Jupiter enters Gemini on May 14th, moving into your 10th house of career and public image. This is a turning point. Jupiter's expansive energy blesses your ambitions, pushing you to rise into leadership, be recognized for your contributions, or take bolder professional risks. Your efforts over the past months can begin to bear fruit, especially in areas where communication, networking, teaching, or media are involved. Opportunities may arrive through mentorship, foreign connections, or institutions of higher learning. Mars, meanwhile, remains in Cancer, your 11th house of social networks, dreams, and long-term ambitions. Though Mars is debilitated here, it still sparks a hunger for achievement. You may feel fired up to push toward your aspirations, rally support from your community, or engage more actively with group efforts. However, you'll need to keep ego in check. Conflicts with friends or team members could arise if emotions are not managed properly. Use this Mars energy not to dominate, but to persevere. Focus on building rather than competing. It's a good month to strategize on how to manifest your bigger goals with the help of your network. With Ketu transiting your ascendant until May 18th, there remains a sense of detachment from worldly desires. You might find yourself reflecting more on your identity and internal values than chasing material success. Yet, this spiritual inwardness can be a strength. It allows you to approach financial matters with greater detachment and wisdom. After May 18th, Ketu enters Leo, your 12th house. This initiates a new karmic chapter related to isolation, surrender, and hidden areas. Be mindful of expenses, particularly those related to health, travel, or spiritual pursuits. Rahu's concurrent move into Aquarius, 6th house, supports disciplined efforts, particularly in overcoming debts, tackling competition, and maintaining health through methodical routines. It's a helpful time for implementing practical strategies to stabilize your financial and physical foundations. Venus continues to bring charm and allure to your 7th house until May 18th. This is when your magnetic presence peaks. You might find others drawn to you more than usual. However, don't mistake attraction for compatibility. Use this time to deepen bonds with those who reciprocate your care. After May 18th, with Rahu shifting to your 6th house, relationships may take on a more practical tone. There could be a push toward resolving long-standing disputes, or even a shift in dynamics where daily routines and mutual responsibilities become central themes. The full moon in Libra on May 12th, occurring in your 2nd house of values and family, marks a moment of emotional illumination. You may feel prompted to reassess what truly matters to you, especially in terms of possessions, legacy, and close relationships. This lunation encourages you to close a cycle of materialism or reevaluate desires that no longer align with your current path. You might find yourself letting go of outdated financial goals or social ideals in favor of something more meaningful. Later in the month, the new moon in Taurus on May 26th occurs in your 9th house of wisdom, travel, and dharma. This is a potent time for setting intentions around higher learning, spiritual expansion, or connecting with mentors. Mercury's presence in Taurus during this new moon helps with clarity and articulation. Whether you're seeking a guru, wanting to teach, or wishing for direction in your career, your prayers are likely to be heard. Journaling, vision boards, or affirmations during this time can prove powerful. Your health continues to require attention this month, with Saturn aspecting your 1st house, and Mars potentially adding emotional strain via the 11th. You must prioritize balance. Stress may come from trying to juggle work, relationships, and your inner transformation journey. Don't spread yourself too thin. Make time for rest, mindful breathing, or creative expression. Your emotional well-being is tied deeply to your physical health now, so addressing both will serve you best. By the end of the month, Mercury moves into your 9th house on May 23rd, joining the Sun in Taurus. Communication with mentors, teachers, or spiritual figures could become more prominent. You may feel inspired to share your own knowledge as well. This is also a great time for short-distance travel with purpose, whether for education, pilgrimage, or networking. Conversations with your father or authority figures may be productive, though there's a risk of clashes if egos get involved. Maintain humility, as this will open more doors than pride ever could. Overall, May 2025 is a rich, layered month where emotional intelligence, humility, and strategic thinking will help you ride the waves of change. The themes of endings and new beginnings, particularly in relationships, career, and identity, are strong. Lean into your innate analytical gifts, Virgo, but allow your heart and intuition to have a say too. A new version of you is being sculpted, and while this process can be demanding, it is also deeply rewarding. For Libra, May 2025 is shaping up to be a powerful and transformative month. With several key planetary transits influencing important sectors of your chart, this period marks both closures and exciting new beginnings. One of the most defining features of the month is the exalted position of your ruling planet, Venus, in Pisces, your 6th house of health, work, and service. This exalted Venus casts a luminous glow on your daily routine, wellness, and professional life. It's a beautiful time to refine how you manage your responsibilities, infuse grace into your everyday dealings, and perhaps even fall in love with the process of healing, whether that be physical, emotional, or spiritual. If you've been dealing with workplace challenges or health concerns, this is the month you could find soothing resolutions or meaningful improvements. Venus here also forms a Viparita Raj Yoga, which is a special astrological condition that brings hidden strength from adversities, meaning any current struggle could lead to unexpected rewards. However, this sixth house also hosting Saturn, Rahu, and Mercury at the beginning of May. Saturn is teaching you patience, discipline, and endurance in handling your duties, while Rahu brings unpredictability and desire for change. These energies together can feel like a tug-of-war between structure and rebellion, especially in your health or work environment. If you've been ignoring chronic issues or burying stress, they may demand attention now. Rahu, while known for its disruptive tendencies, can also spark innovation, and you might find yourself drawn to alternative therapies or unconventional work styles. Mercury, although initially debilitated in Pisces, may cause confusion or miscommunication at the start of the month, particularly around medical advice, contracts, or schedules. But clarity begins to return after May 7th, when Mercury moves into Aries, your 7th house, bringing improved communication in partnerships, negotiations, and legal matters. Speaking of partnerships, the exalted Sun in Aries until May 15th shines a spotlight on your one-on-one relationships. This placement energizes your connection with others, making it a prime time for mending strained bonds or forming new alliances. Whether it's a romantic partner, business associate, or close friend, you'll feel more confident in handling relationship dynamics. Your ability to lead with warmth and fairness will be appreciated, and you might find yourself stepping into more visible or committed roles. After May 15th, the Sun shifts into Taurus, entering your 8th house of transformation, intimacy, and shared finances. This is where the month gets deep. The Sun here illuminates areas that have been murky: financial entanglements, emotional dependencies, or unresolved fears. It can also bring powerful revelations, and if you listen to your intuition, you might uncover truths that shift your direction. The month brings a significant expansion of your worldview when Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and abundance, moves from Taurus to Gemini on May 14th. While in Taurus, Jupiter supports healing through deeper psychological work and helps bring financial growth through shared ventures, inheritances, or passive income sources. Its transition into Gemini, your 9th house, is an auspicious one. This shift encourages you to broaden your horizons through travel, higher education, spiritual exploration, or publishing. You may feel inspired to take up a course, write, teach, or embark on a journey that alters your beliefs. This placement also highlights the influence of mentors, gurus, or father figures who may offer timely guidance. In the career sphere, Mars is transiting Cancer, your 10th house of career and public standing. Though Mars is debilitated in Cancer, its directional strength in this house gives you the drive to push forward professionally. You're motivated to act, take charge, and assert your goals, but be mindful of emotional reactivity. This month may require you to lead with emotional intelligence, keeping your cool even when provoked. If you can harness this energy constructively, it's a fantastic time to make impactful decisions at work or take a bold step in your public life. However, resist the urge to respond impulsively, especially with authority figures or team members. On May 18th, Rahu shifts from Pisces into Aquarius, your 5th house of creativity, romance, and children, while Ketu moves into Leo, your 11th house of social networks, ambitions, and gains. Rahu's presence in the 5th brings an electrifying charge to your creative and romantic life. Expect bursts of inspiration, sudden attractions, or a renewed passion for artistic expression. There's a karmic quality to this placement. You may meet someone who feels fated, or be drawn to futuristic projects. At the same time, Ketu's transit through your 11th house might detach you from certain social groups or long-held goals that no longer align with your evolving identity. It's a call to recalibrate your sense of community and find deeper meaning in your contributions. With Sun and Jupiter influencing your 8th house around mid-month, joint finances, taxes, debts, and inheritances may come into focus. Be cautious with shared resources and make strategic decisions. This is not the time for risky speculation, but rather for reassessing investments and eliminating unnecessary liabilities. The latter part of the month, with Jupiter's move to the 9th, could open up long-term financial growth opportunities linked to education, legal matters, foreign dealings, or publishing. Venus, exalted in the 6th, supports financial gains through service, health, and creative freelancing. Venus in the 6th may not feel overtly romantic, but it brings a healing and cooperative energy. You and your partner may be working through unresolved issues or adjusting to changing responsibilities. Be patient and give each other space. Small gestures of appreciation will go a long way. Mercury's transit into the 7th house helps smooth communication, and if you're single, there's potential to meet someone through your daily work, health routines, or service settings. The entrance of Rahu into the 5th house after May 18th can attract thrilling new connections. Just be mindful of idealizing someone too quickly. Family and social dynamics are also shifting. Saturn in the 6th may place more responsibility on your shoulders when it comes to caring for others, especially relatives who may need help. With Ketu moving into your 11th, some long-standing friendships may fade, making room for more meaningful bonds. You'll start to value authenticity over popularity, choosing to spend time with those who truly align with your path. The early part of May may bring odd or stress-related ailments due to Mercury and Rahu's influence. Once Mercury shifts signs, your mental clarity and focus improve. Be mindful of digestive and nervous system sensitivities and avoid overextending yourself. Regular rest, balanced nutrition, and emotional boundaries will be key to maintaining energy. The full moon on May 12th, occurring in Libra, activates your first house, your body, identity, and life path. This lunation is deeply personal and acts as a mirror reflecting who you've become over the past months. Something in your self-concept or external presentation may be coming to completion, allowing you to release an old way of being. It could be as subtle as a shift in confidence or as visible as a lifestyle change. Finally, on May 26th, the new moon in Taurus occurs in your 8th house, further emphasizing themes of rebirth, emotional intimacy, and financial restructuring. This is an ideal time to plant seeds for emotional healing, open up to vulnerability, or begin a new chapter in how you share power and resources. Hidden talents or psychological insights may emerge, revealing more of your strength. Overall, Libra, May 2025 is a month of internal and external transformation. As the tides shift, you are being asked to balance responsibility with intuition, structure with creativity, and duty with self-care. What emerges by the end of this month will be a stronger, wiser, and more aligned version of you. For Scorpio, May 2025 promises to be a deeply transformative and emotionally resonant month. The planetary alignments unfolding this month touch nearly every facet of your life, from love and family to career, finances, and spiritual evolution. With your ruling planet Mars transiting through Cancer in your 9th house, there's a powerful drive within you to seek something beyond the mundane. You're yearning for expansion, mentally or spiritually. That said, Mars in Cancer can bring emotional turbulence. Your motivation may fluctuate with your moods, so practicing emotional self-care is critical to maintain inner balance during this energetic push toward growth. Simultaneously, the 5th house of Pisces is a hub of intense activity. Saturn, Rahu, Venus, and Mercury, until May 7th, congregate here, creating a dynamic field around romance, creativity, and matters related to children. Venus, exalted in Pisces, is pouring sweetness into your love life and creative efforts. This is a time when romantic expressions can feel more soulful, deeply artistic, and even healing. If you're in a relationship, this transit may offer a dreamy reconnection, helping to smooth out past tensions. For singles, this could draw in a partner who feels almost fated, someone artistic, compassionate, and spiritually aligned. Venus's influence also enhances creativity, making this a fantastic time for any artistic or passion projects, especially those involving performance, design, or storytelling. Saturn, also present in your 5th house, insists on maturity and realism. You're being asked to take responsibility for your romantic choices or parental roles. If you're an artist, this may be the time you start treating your art as a serious endeavor, not just a hobby. With Rahu here too, your ideas around love and creativity might be unconventional, even radical. You may find yourself drawn to New Age art forms, taboo-breaking relationships, or alternative schooling methods for your children. And with Mercury in the stellium until May 7th, you'll likely find yourself deeply introspective, especially about your past choices in love and how your voice expresses. Until May 14th, Jupiter remains in Taurus in your 7th house, blessing you with expansion in relationships, be it marriage, business deals, or meaningful one-on-one interactions. This has been a period of growth through connection, where partnerships act as mirrors and mentors. But after May 14th, Jupiter moves into Gemini, shifting the focus to your 8th house of intimacy, shared finances, and transformation. This initiates a period where you're being called to merge more deeply with others, not just physically, but emotionally and financially. Expect increased depth in romantic unions, possibly through joint investments or transformative emotional experiences. It's also a prime time for healing old wounds around trust and vulnerability. The Sun begins the month in exalted Aries in your 6th house, highlighting productivity, health, and service. Until May 14th, this is a period where you'll be extremely efficient and focused on daily responsibilities. You'll feel empowered to address any lingering health concerns, streamline routines, and assert your role at work with confidence. Mercury's transit into Aries on May 7th reinforces this energy, improving your communication at work and helping resolve conflicts or misunderstandings. You might find yourself problem-solving with flair and even mentoring others with your insights. From May 15th onward, as the Sun moves into Taurus and joins Mercury in your 7th house, the emphasis moves to harmony in relationships. You'll shine more in one-on-one dynamics and may be recognized for your diplomatic efforts or leadership in collaborative settings. A major shift occurs mid-month when Rahu enters Aquarius, your 4th house, and Ketu simultaneously moves into Leo, your 10th house, on May 18th. This axis shift marks a new 18-month karmic journey focused on the balance between your private and public life. Rahu in the 4th can stir restlessness at home. You may feel the need to relocate, redecorate, or deal with underlying family tensions. This could also manifest as a fascination with futuristic home technologies or non-traditional living arrangements. On the other hand, Ketu in your 10th house signals a subtle withdrawal from the spotlight or public ambition. You may begin to question your career direction, yearning for work that aligns more deeply with your soul's purpose rather than chasing traditional success markers. It's a powerful invitation to redefine what achievement means for you. The full moon in Libra on May 12th illuminates your 12th house of isolation, endings, and spiritual growth. This is a deeply introspective lunation, urging you to retreat from the noise of the outer world and examine the hidden parts of yourself. You may be drawn to meditation, dream analysis, or quiet solitude. This is also a prime moment to release subconscious beliefs that have been holding you back. Beliefs around self-worth, fear of intimacy, or fear of failure. When new moon arrives in Taurus on May 26th in your 7th house, you'll be ready to plant fresh seeds in your relationships, ideal for new partnerships or recommitting to someone with renewed understanding. Early May is stable and promising, especially in partnership-based ventures, as Jupiter remains in your 7th house. But after May 14th, Jupiter's entry into your 8th house calls attention to shared assets, debts, and inheritances. You may receive financial support from a partner or family member, or uncover new passive income opportunities. However, this is also a time to be cautious about taking on new loans or investments, especially with Saturn influencing your 5th house. Risk tolerance should be conservative. Children or creative projects may also require financial support during this time. Love continues to be a key theme this month, thanks to Venus's exaltation and 5th house placement. This dreamy, romantic energy flows effortlessly through your personal life. Whether you're single or attached, you may feel more open-hearted, inspired, and emotionally available. After May 14th, with Jupiter entering the 8th house, love becomes more private, passionate, and transformative. This is the energy of soul merging, the kind of intimacy that changes you from the inside out. For some, it could bring deep healing within an existing bond. For others, it could attract someone intense and life-altering. Family dynamics may go through subtle shifts as Rahu enters the 4th house. Some restlessness in your domestic life is likely, perhaps even linked to real estate or family roles. You may feel driven to change your home environment or take on new responsibilities at home. Saturn and the May 5th simultaneously add pressure around parenting or elder care. Balancing home duties with professional life will be key, especially since Ketu and the May 10th reduce your tolerance for superficial professional engagements. Mercury and the Sun in your 6th house supercharge your awareness and decision-making around health. However, by the full moon, your mental and emotional health will need just as much attention. Take time to rest, sleep deeply, and avoid burnout. Travel may bring fatigue too, with Mars in the 9th house, so pace yourself wisely. Overall, May 2025 is an emotionally rich and spiritually charged month, filled with deep shifts, profound insights, and romantic beauty. You are stepping into new dimensions of love, personal truth, and inner transformation. Let go of what no longer serves, stay open to the mystery of your journey, and trust the slow but steady unfolding of your higher path. For Sagittarius, May 2025 unfolds as a month of profound shifts and soul-level transitions. With so many key planetary movements aligning across sensitive and transformative houses, your internal and external worlds are being reshaped in powerful ways. The month opens with your ruling planet Jupiter still transiting Taurus, occupying your 6th house, a zone associated with daily routines, service, health, and karmic debts. This has been a period of intense self-discipline and purification, urging you to address work stress, lifestyle imbalances, or even legal entanglements with patience and wisdom. You've been asked to handle responsibility, refine your skills, and potentially navigate complex coworker dynamics or medical concerns. Until May 14th, Jupiter's presence here continues to support healing through effort and rewards those who have been consistent in their duties. But the major turning point comes on May 14th, when Jupiter steps into Gemini, your 7th house of relationships and alliances. This shift is significant. It initiates a new year-long journey focused on your connections with others. Whether you're single or partnered, this transit brings new opportunities for collaboration, compromise, and spiritual growth through companionship. If you're seeking partnership, this is one of the most potent periods in recent years to manifest someone significant. And if you're already in a committed bond, This is a chance to deepen your mutual understanding and take the next big step together. Professionally too, Jupiter's influence in your 7th house could bring clients, business deals, and beneficial contracts that offer mutual gain. Ketu, the south node of the moon, has been transiting your 10th house of profession and public life in Virgo, possibly creating a sense of aimlessness or withdrawal from external validation. You may have felt overlooked or strangely detached from your career direction. But on May 18th, Ketu moves into Leo, your 9th house. This is a dramatic shift from worldly status to inner conviction. Now, the focus turns toward education, philosophy, spiritual teachings, and travel. You may feel drawn to learn something new or immerse yourself in a belief system that fuels your higher calling. Career-wise, this can also translate to mentorship roles or international collaborations. Your 4th house, the seat of your emotional world, family, and home, is a focal point of deep karmic energy throughout May. With Saturn, Venus, Rahu, and until May 7th, Mercury, all packed into Pisces, the energy here is rich and layered. Saturn demands maturity and commitment in home-related matters, which might translate to responsibilities involving your property or elderly family members, especially your mother. Venus, exalted in Pisces, tries to bring peace and comfort, and even beautification of your home. This could be a perfect time to redecorate, cook nurturing meals, or simply savor solitude in familiar surroundings. However, Rahu's presence complicates the picture, bringing illusions or exaggerated expectations, especially emotionally. You may need to navigate family dynamics with care, and it would be wise to stay grounded amidst emotional swirl. There could also be unexpected expenses related to property or household repairs, so keep a budget aside for contingency. Mercury, debilitated until May 7th in Pisces, may have clouded your ability to clearly express your emotional needs, especially within your family. But once it enters Aries, your 5th house, communication becomes sharper, more direct, and infused with creative expression. Until May 23rd, Mercury in Aries helps you reconnect with joy, children, love, and artistic pursuits. Conversations with children or romantic interests become more fluid and honest, paving the way for mutual understanding. If your work involves teaching, media, or counseling, this is also a great time to make a powerful impact with your words. The Sun is also exalted in Aries until May 13th, further energizing this house, bringing attention to your passions and talents. It's an excellent period to initiate a new creative project or explore speculative investments. Just make sure you're balancing risk with research. From May 23rd onwards, Mercury moves into Taurus, your 6th house, joining the Sun there. This transition realigns your attention toward health, service, and problem solving. It's a time for implementing the lessons you've learned earlier in the month, whether it's about setting better routines, managing time more efficiently, or taking care of your physical well-being. Mercury here can make you detail-oriented and analytical, which is great for tasks that require precision. The Sun's presence in Taurus from May 15th brings strength and confidence to your workplace and wellness efforts, helping you stand out in professional environments or take control of lingering health issues. Legal matters could also turn in your favor under this transit. Mars transit in your 8th house. This is a territory of transformation, crisis, shared finances, and hidden psychological layers. Mars here intensifies your desire to confront what's buried, whether it's emotional baggage, unresolved trauma, or financial entanglements like loans and taxes. While this can be a volatile placement, its direct motion grants you the courage and drive to make bold decisions that can free you from limiting bonds. You may feel compelled to tackle a long-standing financial matter or engage in deep emotional healing. It's not easy energy, but it's empowering, offering the kind of breakthrough that follows breakdown. Financially, the picture is nuanced. With Saturn ruling your 2nd house of income and values, and currently transiting your 4th house, your financial priorities are shifting. Long-term investments related to real estate or family may be on your mind. Venus, also in the 4th house and exalted, brings blessings, perhaps a gain through a family member, or a sense of satisfaction through nurturing your inner world. Rahu, however, may tempt you to spend impulsively, or cause sudden gains that may not be sustainable, so tread carefully. With Mars in the 8th and the Sun-Mercury duo in the 6th later in the month, shared resources and health expenses may require attention. Still, strategic thinking and grounded action can ensure that you come out ahead. The emotional climax of the month arrives with the full moon in Libra on May 12th, illuminating your 11th house of friendships, aspirations, and social networks. This full moon in Libra may bring closure or clarity around a group dynamic or an old friendship. Perhaps you're ready to release a long-held role or expectation that no longer serves your spiritual growth. It's a powerful moment of emotional liberation. Letting go of the need for approval or validation from certain circles can help you stand in your truth with more strength. Finally, on May 26th, the new moon in Taurus falls in your 6th house. This is the perfect time to set intentions around health, daily work and service. You may receive divine inspiration about the next steps in your professional journey, or how to live each day with more meaning. This lunation supports wellness goals, organized routines, and small, practical shifts that yield long-term impact. With so much activation in your houses of healing, roots, and partnerships, you're entering a phase where true growth happens through grounded presence and conscious commitment. Overall, May 2025 is a month of multidimensional growth. You're being prepared for something greater, emotionally, professionally, and spiritually. It's a time of learning how to stand in partnership without losing yourself, of nurturing home and health without escaping responsibility, and of letting go of outdated patterns so that something new can rise. You're entering a gateway of deeper alignment, and the journey begins from within. For Capricorn, May 2025 is a month of profound inner shifts and outward recalibrations. You're stepping into a phase where subtle vibrations in your environment, especially in the area of communication, thought processes, learning, and relationships with siblings or neighbors, can lead to long-lasting changes. With your ruling planet Saturn continuing its transit through Pisces in your third house, accompanied by Rahu, exalted Venus, and a debilitated Mercury until May 7th, the emphasis is strongly on how you speak, what you write or publish, and how you exchange information. This house rules your skills, your mindset, and how you take initiative, so expect May to be deeply introspective and mentally active, while also presenting unexpected opportunities for expression. Saturn is the natural ruler of your first and second houses, linking your identity and your finances, and its presence in the third house suggests a time to refine your craft, pursue serious skill building, or engage in responsible communication. Rahu, on the other hand, intensifies your desire to break the norm in how you speak or learn, which can lead to either visionary ideas or scattered distractions. With Venus exalted here, you are gifted with a magnetic charm in speech and expression. You may come off as more appealing than usual, and if you're involved in writing, media, or teaching, this period could be especially productive. However, Mercury's debilitation until May 7th brings some confusion or second-guessing in communication, especially in matters involving younger siblings, short travels, or digital content. After Mercury moves into Aries on May 7th, you'll notice a surge in mental clarity and decisiveness, especially in home and family matters. Speaking of home, the fourth house of domestic life, ruled by Aries, becomes increasingly important after May 7th. Mercury's transit here until May 23rd brings a flurry of conversations and decisions around property, vehicles, or family dynamics. The Sun is exalted in Aries until May 14th and conjunct Mercury until May 13th, adding both illumination and intensity to these themes. You may be more assertive with your mother or more emotionally involved in matters of real estate and living space. This energy pushes you to organize your living environment, improve domestic routines, or perhaps even settle long-standing disputes at home. It's a good time to make decisions, though minor conflicts with family members may also arise, especially if you're not clear in your expressions or allow ego to dominate communication. On May 14th, Jupiter shifts from your fifth house of creativity and romance, Taurus, into Gemini, your sixth house of daily work, service, and health. Up until this point, Jupiter in the fifth house likely enhanced your joy in learning, creative projects, children, or love life. After the shift, however, the focus moves toward balancing discipline with flexibility in your day-to-day schedule. Jupiter in the sixth house is not necessarily a comfortable placement, but it's useful. It helps resolve conflicts, supports healing from health issues, and brings a wise approach to workplace challenges. If you've been dealing with chronic conditions, difficult colleagues, or work-related legal matters, Jupiter's presence here can bring solutions, especially when approached ethically and patiently. Meanwhile, your career front is lit up by the full moon in Libra on May 12th in your 10th house. This is a culmination point. Projects may complete, your public image may receive recognition, or you may finally receive feedback or clarity on something you've been working toward professionally. Full moons often illuminate truths, so be prepared for increased visibility at work or a pivotal moment that shifts your career direction. It's a time to reflect on whether your current path aligns with your true aspirations. This full moon in Libra also emphasizes your commitment to excellence and spiritual ambition, so you're likely to feel a strong internal drive to make meaningful contributions in your profession. On May 26th, the new moon in Taurus falls in your fifth house, offering a fertile moment for planting seeds related to romance, creative ventures, or children. This lunation carries divine inspiration, ideal for wishing, manifesting, and beginning something heartfelt and joyful. Whether it's starting a new love connection, birthing a creative idea, or deepening your bond with your kids, this is a highly supportive time. Until May 14th, Jupiter graces your fifth house, boosting your ability to love, teach, and create. On May 15th, the Sun enters Taurus, followed by Mercury on May 23rd. These transits bring both logic and warmth to matters of the heart. Communication with children improves, and those of you looking to conceive or adopt may find this window emotionally charged yet promising. If you're single, you might find yourself drawn to someone through educational or artistic activities. If you're partnered, the second half of May helps bring clarity to mutual goals and enhances playfulness within the relationship. Your 7th house of relationships is also experiencing the fiery presence of Mars in Cancer throughout the month. Mars is debilitated in Cancer, which can stir emotional frustrations, passive-aggressive behaviors, or hidden tensions in one-on-one partnerships. This applies to both romantic and business relationships. If you're experiencing conflict, it may stem from unexpressed needs or emotional vulnerability. The silver lining is that Mars in direct motion also gives you the courage to confront issues directly. Just be mindful not to let your temper take the lead. On May 18th, Rahu enters Aquarius, your 2nd house of income, speech, and family values, while Ketu moves into Leo, your 8th house of transformation and shared resources. This new nodal axis will define your value system over the next 18 months. With Rahu in the 2nd, there's an intense drive to accumulate wealth, speak persuasively, and achieve financial independence. You may take unconventional routes toward earning or speak in ways that challenge tradition. Ketu in the 8th, meanwhile, strips away dependencies on others, whether emotional, financial, or psychological, pushing you to evolve on a deep level. Issues of inheritance, intimacy, and power dynamics may also arise. You may start to question your family's belief systems, or feel the urge to redefine legacy and what belonging really means. While this can be unsettling, it's also liberating, offering you the space to form your own values. With Jupiter and then the Sun entering your 6th house, and Mars stressing the 7th, you're being asked to reevaluate your physical and mental well-being. Pay attention to your digestive system, stress levels, and immunity. Implement practical routines, exercise, mindful eating, or stress relief practices like meditation can do wonders now. Saturn in your 3rd house could also bring tension in the arms, shoulders, or neck due to overuse or stress. It's a month to listen to your body and act preventatively. By the end of May, you emerge with a new sense of mental clarity and creative drive. The first half of the month prepares you through introspection, familial ties, and expressive refinement. The second half invites you to step forward, into creativity, love, and disciplined action. And with major planets shifting signs, the universe is initiating you into a deeper lesson, redefining security, not only through money or possessions, but through emotional maturity and conscious transformation. For Aquarius, May 2025 brings a pivotal time marked by both inner shifts and outer developments. This is a month of deep recalibration, especially in terms of finances, self-worth, relationships, and career growth. Several major planetary transits, including Saturn, Rahu, Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter, converge on key houses in your chart, highlighting transformative energies that will shape your path for months to come. As your ruling planet Saturn continues to transit Pisces, joined by Rahu, Venus, and Mercury in your 2nd house, the tone is set for a month that requires grounded decision-making, disciplined habits, and a clear sense of personal values. Mars, though debilitated, is transiting your 6th house in Cancer, giving you energy to tackle work-related issues head-on. However, emotional reactivity can be a pitfall. While Mars is in debilitation, it's also direct, meaning the drive to achieve is still active, albeit colored with moodiness or stress. Work environments may feel charged, and you might find yourself butting heads with colleagues or dealing with increased pressure. If you're able to channel this energy constructively, perhaps through improved emotional regulation or self-care, you can still get a lot done. Saturn in your 2nd house adds another layer to this narrative by pressing you to align your professional output with long-term financial goals. This is not a time for impulsive decisions, but rather one that rewards consistency, planning, and responsibility. Financially, May is an active month, with Saturn, Rahu, Venus, and Mercury congregating in your 2nd house of Pisces. Money matters take focus. Saturn encourages frugality and planning, while Rahu may tempt you into risky or unconventional decisions. Venus in exaltation here is your saving grace. It brings charm, grace, and even a bit of luck to your financial dealings. Creative efforts, especially those linked to speech, beauty, or the arts, could yield rewards. However, the presence of Rahu alongside Saturn warns against overindulgence or unrealistic expectations. Mercury, which starts off the month in debilitation, may initially confuse your decision-making, especially around loans or contracts. But by May 7th it moves into your 3rd house of Aries, sharpening your intellect and giving you a more decisive communication style. This is when clarity returns, allowing for better handling of negotiations or written agreements. Rahu's shift into your first house on May 18th is one of the biggest shifts this month, and one you'll feel deeply. The first house represents identity, appearance, and your approach to life. With Rahu moving in here, you're likely to begin a journey of personal reinvention. This could be anything from how you present yourself to the world to major shifts in your long-term goals. You might start to challenge societal roles or expectations, feeling a powerful urge to carve out a unique path. While Rahu here can boost confidence and charisma, it can also distort self-perception, so staying grounded will be key. Ketu, meanwhile, enters your 7th house of relationships, signaling a karmic shift in how you relate to others. Detachment or emotional distance in partnerships might surface, not necessarily in a negative way, but more as a sign to evaluate which relationships are rooted in genuine connection versus dependency or illusion. On the relationship front, Jupiter's movement from Taurus to Gemini on May 14th activates your 5th house of love, romance, and creativity. This is a beautifully supportive transit for those seeking new connections or wanting to breathe fresh energy into existing ones. Singles may meet someone through intellectual or creative circles, while couples could bond over shared hobbies or conversations. Jupiter brings warmth and wisdom wherever it goes, and in Gemini, it encourages curiosity, learning, and playfulness in love. Ketu in the 7th, however, reminds you not to neglect the spiritual or emotional side of intimacy. Venus continues to bless your speech and familial relationships all month long. Its exaltation in Pisces brings harmony, diplomacy, and sweetness, especially in how you communicate with loved ones. The Sun's exaltation in Aries until May 15th energizes your 3rd house, bringing vitality to sibling bonds, short travels, and intellectual efforts. After mid-month, the Sun shifts into Taurus and activates your 4th house, spotlighting home, emotional comfort, and perhaps real estate matters. This may bring domestic responsibilities to the surface, or prompt you to make improvements in your living situation. Jupiter's lingering presence in Taurus until May 14th supports healing in family dynamics. After that, the energy becomes more outward-focused, turning toward joy, creativity, and childlike pursuits. Mercury's earlier stay in Pisces might cause some early-month misunderstandings with family, but post-May 7, communication becomes clearer and more confident. Mars in the 6th house gives you stamina to face lingering health issues, yet its debilitation could manifest as physical fatigue, digestive upset, or emotional exhaustion. It's important to maintain a healthy routine and pay attention to stress management. Saturn's position in the 2nd house may also prompt you to rethink dietary habits or consider long-term wellness plans. Jupiter's movement into the 5th house from May 14th is supportive of mental wellness, helping to lift your spirits and restore optimism. Ketu's stay in your 8th house until May 18th may have brought some hard-to-diagnose symptoms or hidden stressors, but its shift to the 7th house will now put a spotlight on managing relationship-related stress. The full moon on May 12th occurs in Libra, your 9th house. This lunation could mark a culmination related to higher learning, philosophical beliefs, or a mentor figure in your life. You may find closure around an academic pursuit, a legal matter, or a relationship with an authority figure, perhaps even your father or a spiritual guide. This full moon invites you to own your beliefs and step into your own sense of authority. The new moon on May 26th in Taurus falls in your 4th house. This is a fertile time to set intentions around home, comfort, security, and emotional well-being. Whether it's manifesting a new home, improving family ties, or simply creating a more nourishing environment, this lunation supports new beginnings in your life. Jupiter in Gemini expands your artistic talents, communication style, and ability to mentor or teach others. If you've been meaning to start a new creative hobby or launch a project involving writing, performance, or public speaking, now's your time. Venus being direct and exalted all month enhances your charm and ability to connect with others on a heartfelt level. Simple pleasures, like discovering a new favorite recipe, dining out with loved ones, or even starting a new savings habit, can bring unexpected joy. For Aquarius moon individuals undergoing the final phase of Sad Sati, the worst is behind you. Saturn has been testing your efforts, your discipline, and your resilience. The rewards are not far away. As Saturn moves into your 2nd house, it will soon begin to bring the fruits of your karmic labor, especially in the form of greater self-worth, financial growth, and clarity about your values. Overall, May 2025 is a month that calls for reflection, reinvention, and responsible expansion. The cosmos is asking you to balance ambition with wisdom, love with clarity, and transformation with patience. Trust the process. Your time is coming. For Pisces, May 2025 brings one of the most significant energetic shifts in recent times. The month begins with an intense planetary concentration in your own sign, placing you right at the epicenter of transformation. With Saturn, Rahu, Venus, and Mercury all transiting Pisces, your 1st house, the house of self, This is a time when everything about your identity, body, style, and life direction is undergoing deep redefinition. You're not just changing, you're being reborn in many ways. Saturn's presence in your ascendant can weigh heavily on your shoulders. You may feel a deep sense of seriousness, fatigue, or pressure to get it together. Saturn's lessons are never superficial. They demand structure, maturity, and discipline. You might find that life feels more restrictive or slow, but these are not setbacks. They're calls to solidify your foundation. With Rahu joining Saturn, there's an undeniable urge to reinvent yourself, possibly in sudden or unexpected ways. Rahu fuels your ambition but can distort self-perception. This may lead you to project a version of yourself that is still in flux. Be mindful of making decisions based on illusions or fleeting desires. Stay grounded in reality even while exploring change. Yet amid this dense energy, Venus shines brightly in exaltation throughout the month in your first house. This placement is a balm to the austerity of Saturn and the unpredictability of Rahu. Venus adds beauty, charm, and emotional sweetness to your aura. You may find yourself more magnetic, more admired, and more inclined towards self-love and pleasure. This is the time to pamper yourself, whether it's with a new look, creative self-expression, or indulging in quality time with loved ones. Venus here makes you radiant, and that glow isn't just physical, it's deeply energetic. Take care of your body and soul, because both are being refined. Mercury's presence in Pisces until May 7th adds another layer to this inner shift. Although it's debilitated here, and your communication may initially feel scattered or overly emotional, it's also a reminder to pause before speaking and consider how your words reflect your evolving identity. Miscommunications might crop up early in the month, so be clear, especially in personal or professional discussions. Once Mercury moves into Aries, your second house, on May 7th, your focus sharpens. Speech becomes more assertive, practical, and financially oriented. You may find yourself discussing money matters, setting clearer boundaries, or expressing your values with more confidence. Jupiter, which rules your 10th house of profession, is transiting your 3rd house, Taurus, until May 14th. This placement has likely encouraged short-term projects, skill development, networking, and creative communication. If you've been working on writing, speaking, or even tech-related skills, they begin to bear fruit. After May 14th, when Jupiter enters Gemini, your 4th house, your focus turns toward emotional security, home life, and inner satisfaction. Professional success may now depend on how rooted and supported you feel internally. Work-from-home opportunities, family businesses, or emotionally fulfilling work environments become more important. Also, this is an ideal time to consider real estate decisions or deepen your connection with family. Meanwhile, Mars is transiting your 5th house, Cancer, which governs creativity, romance, and children. Although Mars is debilitated in Cancer, its direct motion still fuels energy in these areas, albeit in an emotionally intense or moody way. You may feel bursts of romantic passion followed by frustration, or inspiration followed by self-doubt. Mars here can challenge your ability to enjoy freely, so avoid impulsive decisions, especially in speculative ventures or matters of the heart. Use this energy to revise or revisit creative projects. It's a good time for reworking something old into something better. Your finances, too, are in the spotlight. Mars, Lord of your 2nd house of wealth, is sitting in your 5th house, linking earnings with creativity and speculative ventures. Until mid-May, the exalted Sun in Aries, your 2nd house, adds a surge of confidence and clarity to financial dealings. You may feel empowered to assert your worth, negotiate better terms, or initiate a side hustle. After May 15th, the Sun moves into Taurus, your 3rd house, aligning with Mercury's presence there. This marks a favorable time for earning through your voice, writing, teaching, or marketing. It's also a good time to build your personal brand or leverage your skills for income. May 18th marks a pivotal shift as the karmic nodes, Rahu and Ketu, change signs. Rahu leaves your 1st house and moves into Aquarius, 12th house, while Ketu moves into Leo, 6th house. This brings an immediate and subtle release from the intense self-redefinition phase of the past 18 months. As Rahu enters your 12th house, your focus turns inward, towards spiritual growth, dreams, subconscious healing, and possibly foreign travels or dealings. You may feel called toward mysticism, retreat, or artistic solitude. Ketu in the 6th house supports dissolving health issues and hidden enemies, but it may also bring erratic patterns to your daily routines. This axis urges you to blend discipline with surrender, routine with transcendence. Until May 18th, Ketu's presence in your 7th house may have created a sense of emotional disconnection in partnerships or a desire to pull away and reflect. After it moves into the 6th, relationship challenges may manifest more subtly, perhaps through misunderstandings or passive conflicts. If you're single, Rahu's move into the 12th house could bring in secretive attractions, soulmates who connect on a dreamlike or karmic level. Venus in your first house, however, is your ace in the sleeve. It enhances your charm and allure. Whether single or partnered, love is possible, but only if it's authentic and in tune with your higher self. The full moon on May 12th in Libra falls in your 8th house, an area that rules intimacy, transformation, and shared resources. Expect heightened emotions and potentially some revelations related to joint finances or deeply personal matters. This lunation could bring closure to a chapter involving in-laws, secrets, or emotional entanglements. For some, this could mark the release of past trauma, while for others, it could enhance intuitive gifts and spiritual insight. It's a cathartic and deeply psychic moon. Pay attention to your gut. Later in the month, the new moon on May 26th in Taurus occurs in your 3rd house. This is the perfect moment to set intentions around courage, communication, and new ventures. If you've been sitting on a dream or afraid to make a bold move, this is your green light. The energy supports writing projects, social media launches, or learning new skills. The overload of planetary energy in your ascendant could bring fatigue, confusion around symptoms, or psychosomatic complaints. Saturn may manifest as chronic tension or structural issues. Rahu can distort perception of wellness, and Venus, though helpful, may lead you to indulge rather than heal. The shift of Rahu and Ketu on May 18th will bring focus to the 6th and 12th house axis, health and healing. Overall, May 2025 is a month of deep metamorphosis for Pisces. You're not just evolving, you're recalibrating your entire self, from the physical to the spiritual. The shifts may feel overwhelming at times, but trust that they're aligning you with your truest path. With patience, courage, and grace, you can step into a new version of yourself, one more radiant, grounded, and spiritually attuned than ever before. As we conclude this episode, please remember that these insights are based on sidereal or Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. Individual predictions may vary, as every birth chart is unique. The influence of dasha periods and natal planetary placements can shape transits differently, both positively and negatively. It's essential to consider your own birth chart when applying these general predictions to your personal circumstances. If you'd like personalized predictions or have questions about your astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful astrology content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to sharing more astrological wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.